104.1 KRBE. It's the Roula Ryan Show. It's always fun to see a KRBE alumni in studio.
Now listen, the Roula Ryan Show today is celebrating a birthday. It was this day in 2006. The Roula Ryan Show started on KRBE, and we've seen a lot of people come and go through the doors here, colleagues from other stations who came here to work. And then, you know, we just know a lot of people in this industry, in the local Houston media, television, radio. It's all together. Dave Morales worked at KRBE for a time when you were doing Backstage Online. Welcome, Dave Morales and John Stenvall from the Backstage Experience.
Hey, it's good to see you.
And Brian and I, we've known Dave in Dallas.
Yeah.
He used to work
Kiss
with,
FM.
Yeah, Kiss FM.
Yeah.
So then we came here, and he followed us over here.
And Dave, you and I actually, we did a panel together. You know, a lot of these comic type things that come to town. We interviewed Patrick Stewart together.
That's
That was
awesome.
great.
And that clip went viral. You remember that?
Yeah, I do
viral in
remember
Italy.
that. I do remember that at the George R. Brown.
Yeah.
And John and Dave, you guys have worked together how long?
Since 2011. We started the company in 2011. We've been with Fox 26 since 2011. And then we launched the Backstage Experience this last September.
Because it was called Backstage Online.
Yeah,
right?
it
Wasn't
was
first?
BackstageOL when we started as a website.
Okay.
And we did it because people go, "What's the OL?" And that's why we did it. OL meaning online. And then as we grew, and then we developed a radio program, which has now turned into a TV show. We've launched the Backstage Experience, and we are on 5 markets. Can we announce? I don't care. We can just say
we
it.
can announce
do
it.
We're coast to coast on Fox stations from we're in Seattle next week to launch there. We just launched
Nice.
Orlando, based and we film here in Houston, but we're on in Houston, Phoenix, Austin, Seattle, Orlando.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, we're excited.
And you have interviewed some of the biggest celebrities on the planet.
Every celebrity there is.
Well, because you go to a lot of the press junkets, right? Because
Yes.
let's talk about the genesis of this, Dave. I know Dave has radio background. John, what's your background?
Finance.
Oh, really?
So John and
I had a real
How
job.
did y'all
sense.
become movie
I
interviewers?
love that you asked that question.
Yeah.
John and I managed a band, and I think some of you may have remembered the band Versity. Remember they did Kesha, TikTok, a rock version?
Yeah.
John and I managed.
I
Yes,
do
John and I
remember that.
managed them. We needed a recording studio. A mutual friend of ours in Pearland, which is where we live. He lives down the street from me. Crazy, I had power, by the way, after the storm, and you waited 3 days. 4 miles.
Crazy.
Anyway,
4 miles apart.
so we found a recording studio in Pearland. John and I managed them for several years, and that's when they moved me up at Fox. I started doing American Idol and X Factor, and the news director at the time called me. It was like 4 news directors ago. Called me in and said, "Hey, I want to talk about your on-air stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, what's going on?" He's like, I said, something wrong, you know, when the boss calls you in.
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, you're different than anything we have on the air." I go, "Is that good?" He goes, "It's great. You want to do entertainment." It happened that quick.
Okay.
I call John and I say, "Dude, Fox wants a meeting. They want us to develop a concept." John had a real job, finance.
It was like that scene in Wolf of Wall Street where he quits his job on
He
the
quit.
spot.
Right there.
Quit on the spot.
He quit that day. I said, "Dude, Fox wants to develop something," and he goes, and he quit his job. And I'm like, "Bro, we don't have anything.
I'm like, you don't have any money.
Yeah,
There's
what do
no
you- what do you-
salary involved.
I mean,
we just have a development.
It's
I
a
believed in the
concept.
product.
It's
Yeah.
a concept and a dream, and it's worked out. But knock on this. But
Well, obviously, John knew where his heart was because you were not being fulfilled by finance.
Yeah, I was working in finance, but then we were going out and hanging out with Snoop Dogg and like Incubus, like
And you're
after
like, this is way
work.
more fun.
And
You're
I'm
like,
like, this
"Oh,
is way
this is-
more
Who is
fun.
the most fun person that you've ever hung out with?
Or interview.
you know what?
Just general
us.
fun.
And I just thought of this question recently because we have talked to several people. I don't know what yours is, but I'm going to tell you right now, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is genuinely one of the nicest guys. He is exactly what you want him to be. I was so nervous. We talked to him like 4 times now, but he is just so genuine. The one that I was terrified to meet, and she turned out to be incredible, Oprah.
Oh, really?
I was so scared.
Oprah was sweet.
You were
She's-
scared because you thought you wouldn't ask her the right questions, or she's just over
It's
this?
Oprah.
I
Yeah,
know
it's just
because you know you
Oprah.
think like
Everything.
maybe
The aura.
Yeah,
all of
and
it.
she got off the elevator. It was for the Cinderella movie, and whatever it was called. And she gets off
A
the
Wrinkle
elevator.
in Time.
Yeah, and she gets off the elevator, and that broke the ice. And I looked at everybody in the hallway, and I mean, I've been doing this a few years, so I don't really. But they were like, "Dave, you're really nervous about this." I'm like, "Dude, it's Oprah." So her publicist outside the door said, "Dave, you've never talked to her." I said, "No." He says, "Let's do a trick. When you walk in, you're going to slate your name, your outlet." He goes, "See what she does." And I'm like, "Okay." And I went in. I went, Dave Morales, Fox Houston. And so my news director at the time said, "Try to get her to do an Oprah-ism." So at the end of the at the end of the interview, I looked at her. I said, "Oprah," and she's soundbite queen. Like she knows
knows it.
media.
She knows how to do it, yeah.
And at the end, I looked at her and I said, "So Oprah, do we get a movie?" And she goes, "Dave, you get a movie. And it was just, and so
Nice.
the thing is, she remembers your name was the trick.
That's
Like
wow.
you say
she
it
keeps
once,
saying it, and she keeps saying
and you're just a presence with her. Tom Hanks is the same.
How about
it's
you,
the same.
John?
I would say for me, the most fun was we were in Cabo with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart for
That was fun.
Jumanji.
Oh,
And
wow.
we
Nick
went,
Jonas was there.
Nick Jonas was there. We went off-roading. That was a lot of fun. And the Revenant after party with Leonardo DiCaprio, and then Tom Hardy ended up hanging out with us the whole night because people were like bugging him. And we were just hanging out in the back of the party, like just
Special K
relaxing.
would have
Special
had
K
a
heard
heart
that name
attack.
and came in here. He's
Tom
like, "Wait, Tom
Hardy.
Hardy."
Tom Hardy.
Was he
Dream.
nice?
He's great.
He's
He
amazing.
walked up to us and he goes, guys, and we just interviewed him that day. He's like, can I hang out with you guys? Because everybody's bothering me for photos. And we were like in the corner, and I looked at John, I'm like, sure.
Dude,
I mean,
just come
no,
hang
you
out.
can't.
Yeah.
why not? Tell him the rest of the
Go
story.
hang
It was
out
an
with you.
entourage moment.
It was an entourage moment. So we were walking around, and the name, I forget the name of the actor, but he plays E on Entourage.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so, and we were new to all this. I'm like, Dave, this is like us being in an Entourage episode. And then this guy walks up to us, and it was obvious who he was. And he's like, "Hi, my name's Toby." And I was like, "Yeah, I know you're Toby Maguire."
No, he said his whole name. He goes, he wanted to talk to Tom Hardy. He's like, hi, I'm Toby Maguire. I'm like, dude, we know who you are.
He's just trying to make friends because he
Dude,
wanted to
it
get
was
to him.
very entourage.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eric
That's
Murphy.
cool.
He
Eric
was
Murphy.
E
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Entourage.
That's what it was.
If you're
Yeah.
just tuning into the Roula Ryan Show on 104.1 KRBE, we're talking to Dave Morales and John Stenvall from the Backstage Experience TV show airing here on Fox, and now they are on in Austin, Phoenix, Orlando, and Seattle. You guys do press junkets. You talk to all the actors who are pressing their movies. This is how you have all these amazing experiences, and Deadpool Wolverine is coming out. It's supposed to be the movie of the summer.
It is.
So give us your takes on the
You saw the
experience.
movie,
Did
right?
y'all
Okay, well,
have
okay,
both
I'm
of them at the same
It's gotta
time,
be
or how'd it go?
Spoiler free.
And I have a line to
It's
describe
very
it.
filthy.
No, I cleared this with Disney because the Marvel police will come knocking on your door. Ask Tom Holland. I mean, he reveals everything. But so I said, Disney, can I say it like this before it's in theaters? It's a potty-mouthed summer movie experience that's very spicy. I mean, the movie is so next level. I mean, it's going to probably do what, 170 million this weekend.
Yeah.
It's next level Marvel. And interesting, and you may know this already, Ryan.
Yeah.
This is it for Marvel for 2024. This is their only
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Because
That's all
now
they
they're
need
going
to
to work
have.
on another Avengers movie.
right.
We've seen parts of that already.
We already
you have?
We
Yeah,
have.
we were at CinemaCon and we saw it with Anthony Mackie, and then has Harrison Ford been announced yet?
Yeah, yeah,
as the
yeah.
president?
He's going to
Okay.
be Red
Careful.
Hulk.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
now
Yeah.
you just did.
They put him in the trailer.
No, he's in the
They
trailer.
put him in the trailer. So
Now,
there's
how
the
would
president.
you hold this up to the previous two Deadpool movies? Is it as good or better?
I think it's better. But they're putting the two guys together. Hugh, let me tell you another thing that's crazy. Hugh Jackman is one of the nicest guys on the planet, and to see him cuss like every
So
other
wrong.
word.
It's weird.
Ryan Reynolds has completely ruined Disney. We at CinemaCon, it's a big presentation. We went this past time in Vegas, and we didn't know we could go, and we just applied, and they're like, "Yeah, come on over." They gave us VIP seats. It was great. It's where all the studios mention their slate, things that are coming up for the year. So we saw everything that's coming up. But the CEO of Disney even came out on stage and was dropping cuss words, and I'm like, "What has Ryan Reynolds done?"
Because that was the biggest
Disney.
the fear that when Disney got Deadpool and got Deadpool
That they'd neuter it.
it would
Oh,
take it
and
away.
there are
They'd make
so
it
many
PG or something.
There are so
So
many
many
references in the movie. Ryan, I know you and
Yeah.
I have the same dry humor.
Yeah.
The sarcasm, and you two, I mean, it's like the humor that they make fun of Disney, they make fun of Fox. Oh my gosh. And I'm saying, can they do this? I'm like, well,
The cool thing about the movie too is you're gonna find new jokes every time you watch it because there's so much going on. There's even stuff hidden in the background that you won't notice the first time, like the 20th Century Fox logo.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I've seen
stop
that
it.
in
Oh,
the
you
same-
have?
It's in the
Yeah.
trailer. It's
Okay,
in the
well,
trailer.
I don't see. I don't really watch trailers when we go into projects. I like to go cold.
Are there a lot of surprise cameos?
Just go see it.
They say
July
pretty-
26th, it comes
Yeah.
out, guys.
You
It
just
comes
wanna
out in
spoil
2
it for
days.
this
Don't
weekend.
say anything more about it. All you're
Right.
saying is a major thumbs up.
Now,
You're
how
gonna
much
love it.
cussing was there? Matthew McFadden, do you guys watch Succession? I'm sure
I
a
do.
lot of you all do.
Succession is awesome.
He plays Paradox, and I know you know who Paradox is.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to really say. I asked him the other day about the cussing. I'm like, was it just cussing all the time?
You get the audio?
And I think we have it.
Yeah, we
you
have
want to
it.
roll it?
Yeah, we
Matthew
have it
McFadden.
here.
Here's what he told me.
I was shocked, and I'm quite an innocent soul, and Ryan Reynolds was coming out with some really nasty stuff, really coarse. Yeah, no, it's very funny.
Well, it's even funny, like just even the little part that we get to see because it's under secrecy. It's Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman, who I've talked to both those guys over the years,
Yeah.
many years. But even hearing Hugh, I'm like, what is Ryan Reynolds doing to this to Disney?
And also, he's behind. Well, apart from what is he doing to his fellow actors? Because he's behind a mask, and so he's just coming out with ad libs and improvs and bits and pieces. Especially when he's like, there was one little piece with me and Hugh, and Ryan has to just. And every take it was something different, and it was really hard not to break. It was really hard.
And when you interview these people, can you tell, like, you walk in, you're like, oh, crap, today this guy's not in a good mood, or this
he's
girl,
been
you're like,
over-interviewed.
Matthew.
like anyone you meet, when you meet him, you're like, this is going to be a tough
Matthew
3
wouldn't let me
minutes.
leave the room. Like the other day, I was in New York a couple of days ago for all this, and he said, "Can I shake your hand at the end?" And I was like, "Yeah." And like he would not let me leave the room.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know.
Like he didn't want the next person to come and ask
He just
questions.
enjoyed it.
He did. He liked talking. My mom, and we all know, a lot of y'all know Mama Morales.
Yep.
I know.
Yeah.
A lot of the actors do. Samuel L. Jackson, I think, wants to date my mother, and I'm not making that
Does
up.
he call her up and wish her happy birthday or something?
Dude,
or
he
does
like loves mom.
always asking about her.
He always asks about mom, and he's a tough interview. No, so these, sometimes you get them where they're really engaged, and then
Do you get to pick the slot? Like, say
Yeah,
they
what
got
time you're
20
gonna be-
interviews, you're like, hopefully we're not.
That's
number
just
two.
assigned to
You
you.
want to go first.
Yes, and I like the other day. I
Yeah,
was-
because they're going to get over-interviewed.
Yeah, M.
and
Night
they're over it.
Shyamalan. I was Trap, his film coming out. We were
That
with
looks
him same weekend as Deadpool Wolverine. We just filmed those in New York the other day. And he's great. And the movie's awesome, by the way, if you like the M. Night twist.
What's the name of the movie?
Trap.
Trap.
It's one with
Okay.
Josh Hartnett.
Who's
Where he goes to the concert.
He's a
and-
serial killer.
Oh, yes, I've
Rula.
heard about this.
Rula, you have to see it.
Okay, it comes out this weekend with Deadpool.
No, not
Wolverine?
August.
No, a couple of
No,
we,
August,
We
okay.
filmed this together in New York,
Okay.
the same interview. But he's another one. But there are some, to answer your original question, is like you'll go in there and you're like, hey, so let's talk about this, and they're like, yeah, no, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Very
like,
closed.
really? Yes.
Because you only get so many minutes, right? You get like
Right.
4 minutes
about
each.
5 minutes, and then they.
So that's a lot. When you
Yeah.
got 2 people.
Yeah.
But it's happened before where the answers are just so short that 3 minutes in, there's 2 minutes still left on
Yeah,
the
I'm
clock.
done.
I'm like,
one,
you're
I
like,
did that
"Oh,
once.
done."
I was like, I think we're done here.
I've done it one time.
Who's
Yeah.
the worst?
Oh, I don't want to say.
Okay, wait, answer this question.
Come
Answer this
on,
question.
Dave.
Dave and John, answer this
He's
question.
like, that person will be a huge
Because
star. And then
in
They are
our
a huge
world
star.
of radio junkets and award shows we've all attended, have you had a time where you didn't even turn on the recorder, in quotes? You didn't even turn it on, but you made them think it was on because you knew it was just terrible. You just gave up.
We've never done that.
You've never not
done that.
No,
recorded it.
I put that on.
Yeah.
I put that on my cat.
That's a me and Kevin move.
Yeah, why would you not?
So, wait a minute.
Why is the red light not
more
on?
American
Okay,
Idol
hold on.
stuff.
So,
That's
are
more
we on
American
right
Idol.
now, or
Yeah,
is this no?
This is the podcast.
delete
You
this,
not
yes.
know?
She brought that up, so I was like, Dave, by the way.
Yeah, we're not on. If you're just tuning into the Roula Ryan Show, we're talking to Dave Morales and John Stenvall. They are on Backstage Experience, the Backstage Experience TV show that airs here in Houston on Fox 26. It's also on in Austin, Phoenix, Orlando, Seattle, and they interview the stars of all the movies, and they do the press junkets with all the big companies, and so it's a pretty fun life.
We're
Pretty
with
fun
Matt
life.
Damon this weekend
how
in
cool.
Boston. Instigators, he and Casey Affleck.
Is that Netflix show?
No, it's
or
Apple
Amazon-
produced, but it'll have a theater run as
And
well.
that's a great thing. You came at the perfect time to record, to do this job because it's not just movies anymore. Like I said, it's Amazon,
Yeah.
Disney, all
streaming.
the
And we
streaming
work-
services
we
you
work
can
with
do.
all
Video
of them.
games that we now have on the show as well.
Oh yeah, you can do all kinds of cool stuff.
Yeah. So, and actually, we're going to be on Fox 26 at 9:50 from KRBE.
Oh, cool. Give
So
us
if
a
you guys
shout
want to
out.
tune in.
Oh,
And
yay.
listen, I just want to say I love all of you in this room. This KRBE family has always been so important to me, and I just absolutely am excited to be here. And I love everyone in this room. You all, we're family, and
You're
I'm
so
so happy.
sweet.
and by the way, the air conditioning's working in
Yeah,
here.
it's a
so-
first.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I know.
Back
we
in the
were
old days, we didn't work
suffering.
for him. Just like
Yeah,
us.
exactly.
Happy birthday, y'all.
Thanks,
Thank
y'all.
you
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so
Thank you.
much.
Thanks.
And you can catch them on Fox 26 at 9:50 a.m. You see behind the scenes of the Roula Ryan Show too.